Bruh, I know. Yeah, I hope that someone's caught that DJ bullish move yesterday because I didn't. I was wicked out right before it because I put my trailing stop loss super close. Slightly. I guess you could say it was a move of fear, but I really, it's all good. So I just want to talk about what I did that caused me to get exit out of this trade right before it shot up. So I knew. So because of where this area was right here on the monthly, I was like, yo, if there's any like some serious steep rejections, I don't really want to be involved, so we had higher lows maintained. Can you please make this thicker? High lows maintained, bearish, bullish, another support maintained. I had my stop right under here, but my entry was literally like so far down, so it wasn't even that bad, but still I could have caught that push and I didn't, but it's fine. It's a demo account anyway. This is the last day I finally get my account on Monday for FTML. Thank God. I mean, it's only been forever. So anyhow, I got stopped out here and then price continued. I didn't re-enter because, I mean, you gotta do all that. But then we had this news at 7, right? So like I was saying, when we have a day like this, it's gonna make a big fat 100 pip or bigger move. Yeah, it was literally 97 pips. So I realized that's a pattern when it comes to GJ when it has that. I mean, rightly so. And it didn't go against the trend or the flow or anything. It didn't do any of that. It just simply continued because higher lows were maintaining an uptrend. You see, there was really no reasons to sell, as we've only ever been being supported by the higher lows. Bearish, bullish, support created. Bearish, bullish, support created. And I'm expecting the same thing again today. I would say that the last higher low that we had, I feel like saying that the last higher low that we had was here is like, yeah, it's right in a way, but it's just such a weak support that if price were to break down, in my head, I don't think I would be saying, oh, I'm going to be looking for sales now because it broke this level. I think I'm still going to be looking for buys because if I were to go 1 time from higher, I mean, you can kind of see it still, but we have the weekly level that's here. So, it would make sense if price were to break this just to dip back in here because of the amount of orders that it has to continue bullish. Like, that's what I see. I hope we have a lot of news today too, don't we? We got today's NFP for the US dollar. So that's that on that. Price is still bullish for GJ. I want to say if it breaks this level, well, first of all, it'll take like 8 hours to officially break that level. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, I'm just gonna mention it. And even if it's 2 bearish candles that close under here, I think I'm gonna just leave it for next week for Monday, and I think I'm still gonna have a bearish bias unless it like comes down here, creates a level of support, and then breaks it again, right? But because this level is a weekly liquidity level, I'm not gonna really be like, oh, let me take sells because it's right there. This is a very strong support anyway. So for gold, it was interesting because again, like we had the same situation. There was like a little higher low that was formed. There was bullish candle, bearish candle. I mean, bearish candle, bullish candle. That means support was created. And then I said, I won't have a bearish bias until we have 2 bearish candles closing underneath here. But the thing is, when you have, look, we have the bearish candle, and then we have a candle that was a little bit more of a doji, but it was still very bearish. But you got to understand that the 4 hours, when they break, it's usually happening at monthly and weekly levels. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, we got a 15-minute close in here. When I saw this engulfing, I was like, ready to take buys, and I did. But I exited because I was like, this stop loss sucks, and I'm pretty sure I can get a better entry tomorrow. So I exited out of this trade. I mean, potentially I was going for like this. And I mean, I'm sure it'll happen, but I feel like I can get a better risk to reward just getting a better entry around some other time at 8 o'clock. But before that happened, I did take buys here because of this engulfing and because of these wicks, and because it was after 8 o'clock. I was like, yeah, I think I feel safe right here. But the issue with that trade was that the lower highs were still being maintained. Lower highs maintained, lower highs maintained, lower highs maintained, right? And then we have the break after we bust out of this liquidity zone. But I felt like I could take buys before the break because in a way, the last higher low that was more legit than this to me was this level right here. So I was like, oh, we're on this level right here. I see wicks. Let's go ahead and take buys. It was still a mistake. You can, I mean, to really see the transition that happened in the weekly zone, you would have had to come here, right? Lower highs maintained all this way. Nothing but tested. Then we have lower highs maintained, lower highs maintained, lower highs maintained until we had all that right there. These bullish moves, and then we could have entered in somewhere like here, you know, and a stop loss would have been here. But I wasn't looking at the 1 minute because that's not usually my ministry or the time frame I'm paying attention to, but it was an option. So because the higher lows on the 4 hour is being maintained, I do expect NFP to go bullish. I do, because again, on the 4 hour structure, this is our point A, this is our point B. Point C, you know, the transition it already happens to continue bullish. And then we have -27 target that I'm still waiting for. Could take a second, but the only thing that really matters to me is as long as I catch this on my live account. I don't really care about catching moves on. I mean, I care because I like to see how much I can do per week, but you know, there's always going to be another opportunity. Now look, we have this. Oh, this can be tricky because in my mind, low key, it's like we're still point A, point B. We're still in this bearish fib until we break completely this 100% level again, and we still haven't gotten there. So if I'm wrong about this trade going bullish, just because it's in the weekly level, support is right here, then it'll be because we're still operating in this bearish fib. But at the same time, I understand that on the daily, we're operating in a bigger fib that is bullish, right? But the current main fib, it would be still bearish because it hasn't broken this 100% level, you know? So there's that. I don't know. I think my bias would still have to be bullish for the moment regarding the current flow, just because it's only, I mean, again, 8 hours next work. See how next I don't have to give it time. I don't want to like get ahead myself. So the bias is still bullish until if in 8 hours we have a clear bearish. But even then, I might be looking for bias because I don't know if I can consider this. I mean, I can. We're gonna see. Because I remember I had the same thought process here, right? I had the same thought process when we created resistance right here, and I was like, bullish, bearish. Okay, we've created resistance, bearish, bullish. This is the level of support. How do I know if we're broken or not? Oh, how do I know if we're broken or not? Again, it's just time. We're gonna have to wait it out. It's better that you stick with your bullish bias until you see how the other candles are closing. So I'm gonna have to stick with my bullish bias until in 8 hours we're like super solid, like bearish AF. So a waiting game. Don't die.